Hey everyone, how are you doing? It's Dr. Miller. I'm happy to introduce myself to you. It's going to be a great class. Welcome to Studies in Genre, the musical. Um, we have both graduate students and undergraduate students in here, so welcome to all. The information is pretty much the same, so I'm keeping orientation materials consistent. Um, you'll notice that if you are, this, this is silly, but bear with me. If you are the graduate student, you have the older cat. And if you are the undergraduate student, you have the small cats. So that was my choice. Anyway, it's always fun to have an animal as your little avatar, I think. And I'm a cat person. Um, so yeah, I'm so happy to see you all, or virtually see you all. I hope you've been having a good summer. I did a little traveling with my kids and my partner, and we had a good little adventure together. Um, and now I'm settling into some teaching, so it's going to be fun. I'm excited for this class. So this video will introduce you to the class in general, and then the next video is going to show you how to do specific work things in the class. So hold on a second. Ooh, sorry about that. And we'll get going. All right, so let's take this as an example of the class. You'll see you click. Here we are. So that you don't get lost, I put announcements in here. Don't worry about those emails. They're all CCs of things. Don't worry. I know that there are people who get stressed out when they see numbers of unread items. Okay, so this is where the announcements are going to be. Let's see. And it will help guide you. Announcements are where like due dates will change. I might send a reminder about, being at a certain point in the class. That kind of thing. So look out for that. One thing you'll want to do first, if you notice it says, please look at the following: content overview and then content before you begin. So hopefully you have done that, and that is how you found this video, but just in case you haven't, there's just links to the Google Doc under the syllabus and concourse, that way I can continue to change it. Whew. Sorry everybody, I got some fizzy water. Hopefully the bubbles will wake me up. It's a mango. Exciting. All right, so right here you have an overview which links you to the syllabus. That's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to show you just a little bit of what it's going to be like. This is still a little bit of a work in progress, so if this video isn't identical to the Google Doc, don't panic. But yeah, so basically the things you're going to do in here, there's Google Docs participation. It ends up being kind of fun. We all group annotate documents together and come up with questions and stuff. And it's really great for studying for the final too. So yay to that. You're going to write a performance analysis essay. That might sound imposing, but you can find a videotape, or not videotape, streaming video of a performance. I'm so old. And watch that. You don't have to go in person. It's not, necessary to do that. And it's a good analytical essay. You're going to do a playlist assignment. You'll put together a short playlist that kind of either gives an alternative soundtrack to a musical from our class or helps to frame a story you would like to see realized as a musical. You'll do some logo design. This does not require much artistic ability. If you think about the musical logos that exist, a lot of it is about creativity and getting the point across. It doesn't have to be elaborate. So, be confident in your ability to think interestingly. And then finally, you're going to write a proposal for a musical at the very end or whenever you finish it. That's gonna be a lot of fun. You can scaffold with the logo assignment and the playlist in order to kind of make it a little easier on yourself. But you don't have to. You can just do those to gain the experience, and it's gonna be a fun experience. The final exam will consist of relatively easy stuff. It's a short one. It's basically so you guys don't have a quiz like every other day and you miss one and then you have to make it up and then everything gets all chaotic. So we're just gonna have one thing. It's a final exam. It's worth 15%, and you'll notice it's just 20 multiple choice and 10 short answer. You can basically just read through all the Google Docs and look at our book again, and that'll be most of it. So what are we covering in the class? Basically, this is a drama genre class. And as such, we talk a little bit about the historical context of musical theater before we proceed to talk about the kind of like 20th and 21st century Broadway musical theater. So we look at some ancient performances, not in person. There are Renaissance masques, 18th century ballad operas. And so we're going to talk about these interconnected relationships between music and theater. We're also going to talk about vaudeville, burlesque, minstrelsy, cultural appropriation. There's a lot of it in this class. We'll be talking about these issues sensitively, but they're very important, so they're not going to get taught. Tin Pan Alley, the book musical, rock musicals, mega musicals. Basically, if you don't know what some of these things are yet, you're going to know them by the time, August 1st, ticks the clock. Very exciting. This is our book. Let me show you. It's a big chunky thing. It's by a guy named Larry Stemple, and it's called Showtime. And to be 100% real, I would have absolutely read this book without this class. This guy knows everything. There's so much information in it. He's a good writer. He's compelling. He knows like all the juicy quotes from all the people to put in. It's a fun one. Definitely buy it. I've sort of postponed some of the need to have it. I think you get a few days to not have it yet, but please order it as soon as you're able. It is on Amazon and it's available in other spots. So that's there. I am also going to show you our Spotify playlist. All right, so, oh gosh, what do we have? Yeah, we got all kinds of random stuff. A 2019 impeachment playlist. I don't know what the heck was on that. It's somebody else's, though. Or maybe it's mine. I have no idea. Anyway, this is our playlist. There's a cat. He's riding a whale. He's got a trident. We're not all inspired by the same things, but that one is at least somewhat motivating. Okay, number 1. It says 18 hours and 31 minutes on there. You do not need to sit with headphones on taking notes for 18 hours and 31 minutes in a row. What you will want to do, and this is getting into the how to do work in this class thing, but it's okay. You will want to listen to a few representative songs. I give you maybe like, if you look at the Beggar's Opera, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 6 rather. Listen to half of them, write down what you think they sound like. If you love them, listen to them all. Some of these are vaudeville ones. Here we have the HMS Pinafore. So this is part of the historical part of the class. I tried to do it where it goes from earlier to contemporary. We got Showboat, one of the big early shows. You don't have to listen to all of this. Just pick a half dozen of that one. If it's a lot of stuff, pick a half a dozen. If it's not, then you don't have to. I would like you to at least watch some of the things in full. I would like you to listen to some of the things in full, but I'm not going to chase you around and follow up whichever. I trust you all to find what interests you and to follow your own passions. And you're going to learn all of it. So I don't have anything to worry about in that respect. Anything goes. Let's see. Rodgers and Hammerstein. Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Hair. So many things. Sweeney Todd. Evita. Phantom of the Opera. We're getting through the 80s. Got Tick, Tick, Boom. London Road. Hamilton. Later stuff. So yeah, we're going to have a good time. We're going through basically the dawn of time until now, which is always a great time frame. We will also, I'm going to show you right here what some of the main foci are for us. Okay, so these are the full-length works that we're going to be discussing as full-length works. And you do not, again, if you're miserable, don't sit through 3 hours of something. But in general, you should at least read a full summary, listen to most of it, get through more of it. So we've got Fosse Verdon. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but we will be talking about Bob Fosse a lot and Gwen Verdon to some extent as well. Especially when we talk about like Cabaret and Pippin and Dance. So you'll want to at least watch a couple of episodes anyway, so you have some context. And it's kind of a cool show. It's Sam Rockwell and Michelle Williams. It's a really interesting, I guess, biopic. We're going to watch Showboat. There's a lot of content warning issues with Showboat. It's 100 years old. There's racist depictions. It's also really culturally important, and we can talk about that as it gets closer to what we're talking about in class. But if you are deeply uncomfortable, I don't want that. You can read lyrics to songs, you can listen to a few songs, you can read the libretto or the book for the show. You don't have to, pull up to it for the entire time. Oklahoma, Carousel, those are both Rodgers and Hammerstein. I think you might have to see the film of a couple of them. That's okay. There's also a play that is a slur now, and we're going to talk about that one because it's really, really important. And it's one of those where once you kind of encountered it and learned what it's about, like the world seems different, so I don't want to withhold it. However, within the context of the show, we will be saying things like, Louise's stage name, because an actual historical figure took a stage name, which is now a slur for Romani or Roma people. And so that's what we're dealing with. But yeah, there's a lot of controversial stuff happening here. And but anything that is in here is not gratuitous. It's important. So we'll hang in there together, and I'm here to accompany you if anything is rough sailing. Sweeney Todd. I won't spoil that one, but please try to watch the Angela Lansbury version. And then we have Phantom, Les Miserables, and Hamilton. You don't have to rewatch something if you've seen it a bunch of times, but you might want to, with the example of Hamilton, because it's, you'll see it differently through these new eyes. You'll see here, I'm making it optional to read the first 4 chapters of the book. And that's why you don't have to have the book the second class starts. and videos I make are approximately 10 to 15 minutes in length. Speaking of which, we're at almost 15. So watch the next video.